Manchester City take a lead going into half-time at Bramall Lane as they're beating Sheffield United 1-0 with a Kyle Walker thunderstrike on his 100th Premier League appearance for Manchester City against his boyhood club and getting on the score sheet. We'll be talking a little bit more about that, and we're not really here. It's your half-time analysis with me, Kyle Walker. I'm joined by Paul Dickoff and Sean Wright-Phillips. Paul, Manchester City dominant in that first half. I mean, lots of things, lots of positives to talk about.
Yeah, excellent. Alistair said in the commentary there it's 9 shots on target, 9 shots on goal, 5 on target, and it seems to me that it's a shoot on sight sort of policy today. But whereas usually we see in our build-up, we get to the edge of the box and we always look to thread it through or get wide, not really taking a lot of shots from outside the box. But today, Rodri's had one that's been tipped over. I think Ramsdale in the Sheffield United goal looked a little bit dodgy, and whether that's a ploy from even before the game started to put him under pressure as quick as you can by taking shots outside the box, and then Kyle with a fantastic strike gets the goal from it.
It was indeed, Sean. Manchester City dominant, as we said. Who's impressed you in that first half?
For me, I'd have to say it's Raheem. I think he seems back to his old ways. He's picking up the ball and he's driving at players. He's committing them, and I think a lot of the play before Walker's goal he initiated by taking on a couple of players, and then ball pops out and then we switch it, which creates the space for Walker to shoot from. So Sterling's the man at the minute.
Now, one stat that we did bring up on Tuesday night was that Raheem Sterling's only 3 goals behind Neil Young's record. And I feel like when we talk about Raheem Sterling, he is slowly more and more becoming that more legend of Manchester City. He could take that status. He's only young. He could be here for so long, and he gets on the score sheet. I think we've all said that he's going to score today. You just feel full of confidence in him, don't you, Paul?
Yeah, you do. And, we said at the top of the show that he's getting himself in the positions, whether it's I'm taking people on, having his shot, but he's playing within the 18-yard box and the width of the goal a lot of the times. And the chances we create with the players we got, he's always going to threaten to get in the score sheet, as we've seen with the amount of goals he's scored.
Definitely, and I feel like with Raheem, he teams up with so many of the other players as well. And Kevin De Bruyne, again, his passing, his ability, his vision, his creativity, we're seeing that flourish on the pitch, aren't we, Sean?
It's back to his usual self, really. I think we say it every show, and people say it every game. He's consistently at that level where players just run. They don't even need to call for the ball. He will see it. And if he doesn't see it, it doesn't mean he isn't going to play it. He always has a picture back and front of where the ball's going to go.
Now, the goal did come on the 28th minute, as you said there, Paul. Kyle Walker with a strike from outside the box. A fact for you, 6 of Kyle Walker's 8 Premier League goals have come from outside the box, with his strike today against Sheffield United, his first away from home in the competition. I mean, we've talked about the focus, we've talked about the maturity, but his performances and the consistency and the level he's hitting week in, week out, Paul, it's so impressive.
Yeah, I think he's probably admit it himself. He's probably playing the best football of his career at the minute. And defensively he looks so solid. He's so quick. There's no way. You see wing backs today. You see wingers in other games trying to face him up, and they're not knocking the ball past him. So they're not getting there. They have to come back, and then going forward. We've seen it many times here at the Etihad in that position where he gets the ball out his feet, and it's such a sweet strike, and it was a great finish.
It was indeed, and he even said before in the interview we had on the show just before the game that he is playing the best that he's ever been playing, and it's down to him. And kind of you have to applaud that kind of confidence in his own ability, but he knows the work he puts in as well.
He definitely knows, but just by the way, he gave himself a pat on the back. But no, it's a testament to him. He can see that he's improving, and he seems to be enjoying it even more. So I think he's only going to get better for me if he keeps his concentration level the way it is right now. I think we're going to see the Kyle Walker that everybody knows that's in him.
And Paul, no celebration after the goal. Thoughts on that?
None.
I think you'd have been running around celebrating and everything.
You're doing cartwheels, somersaults, knee slides, the lot.
Now, it is only 1-0. I do say only 1-0 because we have been in this position before, and the Premier League is ruthless. One lapse in concentration, Sean, and anything can happen. Fingers crossed it doesn't, but they have to come back out in this second half and really keep on top of it and make sure they don't let anything lapse or drop.
I think Pep will tell them that at half-time. I think if they come out in the second half and play the way they started the first half, I think there'll be more chances for us and hopefully more goals. But like you said, it's the Premier League and we've seen it happen to us before. We just need to get the goals we need to get, and defend the way we have been defending.
And we'll talk about a few of the other players as well. Ferran Torres, I mean, Paul, as I said, every single time he gets an opportunity, he seems to really showcase what his abilities are. And there's a reason he's been brought to the club, and he's showing that out there today. Yeah,
he is. Well, he's quick. He's very, very good in the ball, likes to dribble. But what's impressed me in the first half today is his movement. Centre forward as a number 9's not necessarily his main position, and maybe it's only his second game there. But he's mixing it up a bit. He's asking questions of the Sheffield United defenders all the time. He's coming short to get it to feet. When he's not getting it, he's threatening that space in behind. And talking about Kyle's goal, the Sheffield United back three had to back off, because of Torres' movement. 1 minute he's coming in short. They know he's quick, so they're having to drop deep. The midfield in front of them's having to press on the ball, and it's leaving that space. When Rodri had his shot, and then when Kyle Walker got his goal there. And I think we're talking a lot about Kyle Walker, but I think Cancelo's been excellent. I think the whole back four, and that partnership between Ruben Diaz and Laporte looks really... I don't want to tempt fate. I shouldn't have said that until after the game. But they look really solid and really, really strong.
João Cancelo, he is someone that's improving week in, week out, and he's really making that position his own, I feel, Sean, because he's got this opportunity. He's not normally a left back, but this is what we're seeing him do, and he's making the most of it.
He just seems to be getting better and better. His performance at West Ham last weekend, it was, for me, one of our best players on the pitch. And then he's come to this game, and like you said, he's a right-footed left-back, really. But the way he goes forward, he attacks like a winger, which is nice to see. He still has the quality, like how we saw in a game there, where he kind of chops the guy and the guy runs off the pitch and he gives Ferran the chance. It's nice to have that quality in your fullbacks.
Now, I feel like people could look at the stats and they could look at how dominant Manchester City have been and say, well, that's because Manchester City, that they're good, and Sheffield United, they've just not quite hit it. But Manchester City haven't allowed them, Paul, to get into the game. They've been pressing, the work rate, they've just not allowed them have any opportunities at all.
Well, that's the side of the game a lot of people don't see, and because we're that easy on the eye, we've got that many good players, but the pressing, the amount of times we've won the ball in the last third when Sheffield United are not just when Sheffield United are defending and they're trying to clear the ball out, we're always in the front foot ready to win the... Still Barcelona 6-second rule, isn't it? Win the ball back as quick as you can, and they've been excellent at that today.
They have indeed. Now, moving forward, looking at this second half, Sean, there is still so much attacking force on the bench, but this starting 11, they can just go back out there. They can play with confidence, I'd say, knowing that they're 1-0 up and keep on doing exactly what they've done.
Yeah, I think they're going to do just that, and don't be surprised if you see Phil Foden come on and start opening things up in a different way as well.
Would you like to see that, Paul?
Yeah, I would. I don't think there's a need to change anything yet. I thought we were outstanding, and the one thing we always say is maybe the amount of chances we've created is take a little bit more. But the way they're playing, I wouldn't surprise me if Chris changes shape a little bit, because they've been under so much pressure, and Chris Wilder likes to do different things at times, and they've been under that much pressure. I think he might change it a little bit, and it'll be different to see how we react to it.
I mean, what do you do? Sean, what do you do as an opposition manager? You're losing at home to Manchester City. They've been dominant in possession, in passing, in shots on goal, and you've got to figure something out for the next 45 minutes.
I think it's either he's going to just leave it as it is to try and damage limitations and keep the scoreline down, or he's going to say to the boys, look, let's try and get something here. We've created a few half chances, and we've been in positions on the break where they may have not taken advantage of. So for me, he's either got to go for it, or like I said, just keep the scoreline down.
I think from their point of view, Chris will just be telling them to just stay in the game. The amount of times we've played against teams that are dominant or bigger teams against you. You get at half-time 1-0, let's stay in the game as much as you can, because there's always that chance that you can hit them on the break.
Right, there's a big 45 minutes to go. Manchester City taking on Sheffield United at Bramall Lane. Remember, you can catch the full match replay on City Plus from 12 this evening or this morning. And there's plenty of things on there as well, documentaries, and there's a behind the scenes as well. And this is everything you can catch on City Plus.